Moser here, the traveling investor. And today I want to share with you the 7 mistakes that newbie investors make when getting involved in multifamily real estate. So the first mistake that newbie investors make is they get excited over the property rather than the numbers. Now, what do I mean by that? When you're getting started in real estate and suddenly you have a property under contract, you're going to look at it, you're going to receive from the broker what's called an offering memorandum. And this shows the pictures of the property, it talks about the location, it talks about what's going on, the amenities, and so forth, and everything that's happening. And you might be getting really excited about all that information. What you should be getting excited about are the numbers. When the numbers pencil out and you've done your underwriting analysis and you've done it on a conservative basis and they work, that's when you should get excited. Yes, the property is nice and it's in a good location. It has a pool and a clubhouse and nice amenities and it's well kept and there's a lot of upside to it. But if the numbers don't work, the numbers don't work. Get excited over the numbers and not the property. The numbers will never lie to you. All right. All right. Number two, second mistake that newbie investors make is not doing due diligence well enough, not doing your inspections, not checking the property, not going into every single unit. And, I've learned this the hard way. I remember one time we were buying a property, it was 240 units, and we didn't walk into every unit. When we took over that property and then we decided to go into every unit, we had a big surprise. There were more expenses that were needed than we had budgeted for. So make sure when you're doing your physical inspection, you want to go into every single unit. Don't skimp out. Every single unit. Check every faucet. Check every hot water heater, every HVAC system. You want to check all the roofs and the windows and this foundation of the property. You want to know every inch of that property and what needs to be done to fix that asset and to add value. You also want to do your due diligence on the market in the area. Is this really the place that you want to invest? Will you be able to hit your markers? Will there be enough people coming into the area to occupy your property? And you also want to do your due diligence on the legality of the property. Is the seller the owner, the real owner? Are there any liens, any title issues, any encroachment, anybody encroaching on the property, or is the property encroaching on other properties, the fence line and so forth? You want to make sure you know everything there is to know about this property before you own it. And a lot of times, newbie investors will not go into every unit. The broker will tell them, well, you don't need to inspect every unit, just pick a handful. You tell them, I'm sorry, I'm going to go into every single unit. You don't want to have any unexpected surprises when you take over that property. Also, when you're talking to your investors, you want to make sure that you know everything about that property, the area, the leases, the applications of the tenants, who's living on the property, the delinquency of the property. You want to know everything about it so that when you speak to your investors, they get a sense of confidence that you have it all under control. A lot of times, newbie investors, they won't do that. Also, when you're doing your due diligence, this is when you're going to uncover the nuggets that are going to make you money, the things that need repairing that the owner hasn't done yet. So make sure you do your due diligence. All right. Third mistake that newbie investors make that I see is believing that once you have a property under contract, the money will come. I believe that when I was getting involved in multifamily and started networking and looking for properties, I thought that, you know what, I didn't have to go out and network. I didn't have to go out and build my network of people because, well, they told me that when I get a property under contract and it's a great deal, that the money will just appear. People will throw money at me. Well, guess what? What happened? I went and we put a nice property under contract, but we didn't build any relationships. We didn't tell people what we were doing. My partner and I, we didn't share with our network what we were doing. We kind of kept it quiet and hidden. I don't know why we did that. And I learned quickly that that's not the case. The money will not be there just because you have a property. The money will be there when you have a property under contract if you go out and build relationships with people. Do that now. Go out and start building relationships. Start finding out what are people's desires? What are their needs? What are they looking for? What are their fears, right? Because a young 30-year-old single person, their needs are going to be different than someone who's married, 45, has a mortgage, has kids, college coming up, right? So you want to know what everybody's needs and fears and wants and passions are and what their long-term vision is. Like this, when you have a property under contract, then you can present with them the opportunity that you have, and now the money will be there. So don't make that mistake. Start networking now. Build relationships with people. Understand who they are. Go out and meet with them and talk to them. You can also build relationships with influencers, people that have already done that, people who have a huge network of people that follow them, that listen to them, radio show hosts, social media influencers, real estate influencers, all that. All right. So don't get caught in that trap believing that the money will be there when you have a property under contract. Build those relationships from today. Let people know what you're doing. Let them know how they can help you, and understand their needs. How can what you're doing help them achieve their goals, and how will it make them feel to be able to achieve their goals? Okay. Awesome. Number four, fourth mistake that I see newbie investors make is thinking that they can do it all on their own. I will go out and build a relationship with the brokers. I'll raise the money. I'll manage it. I'll close on it. I'll do all my due diligence by myself. You know, my business partner once said that running or doing this multifamily business is like running 12 marathons at the same time. And you got to cross the finish line with all 12 marathons to be successful. I can barely run 100 meters, let alone a marathon, and then 12 at the same time. That's just going to kill me. And the beautiful thing about it is that you don't have to do this by yourself. The most successful real estate investors, syndicators, which is what we are, go out and build teams. They build teams of awesome people around them, people that like to do the things that they don't like to do or aren't good at. And we complement each other. And we build an awesome team so that we can go out and take over the world and build a huge real estate empire. You're going to need a sponsor on your team. You're going to need attorneys on your team, somebody who can raise capital, someone who can do your social media networking for you, someone who's going to manage the assets for you, someone who's going to manage the properties for you on a property level, not on an asset management level. You're going to need bookkeepers and CPAs and attorneys. Why would you want to do all that by yourself? The goal of getting into multifamily is to be able to build yourself a business that's going to revolve around your lifestyle, whatever that lifestyle is. So let's build a team of people that can help you. Don't fall into that trap thinking, oh, I'm going to do it all by myself. I'm the Lone Ranger. I can do it all by myself. You know, there's a lot smarter people out there than me or you. I'm not saying you're not smart, but there are people that are smarter than us. I know I'm not the smartest person. I know that for me to create an Excel spreadsheet, not my gig, not my cup of coffee. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to come to you and share with you the mistakes that I see. I'm going to help you build your team for you. You got to know what you're good at and focus on that. And then bring in other people that can complement your weaknesses. And now you've got an awesome team working together, moving forward for the same goals. And that is the power of team. And we all know what team stands for, right? Together, everyone achieves more. So build that team, and I can show you how to build that team. All right. The fifth mistake that I see that newbies do is they're very aggressive with their underwriting, with their analysis, with creating their budgets for the new year, taking numbers and really compressing the cap rates, bringing those cap rates down, and really saying, well, you know what? If the market rent is 1,000, well, we're going to get 1,050. We're going to push it, and we're going to do it all in 6 months, and it's going to be amazing, and it's going to be fantastic, and we can do it, and we're going to do it in 3 months. Well, didn't you just say 6 months? No, forget about that. We'll do it in 3 months. Now, when you're that aggressive, you may lose a lot of your investors because, and a lot of your lenders as well, because, yeah, while it's great to be aggressive and to have wishful thinking, Your investors and your lenders want to see you underwriting and projecting your numbers on a conservative basis. So don't go out there and blow your investors away by being overly aggressive. Take time in your projections to renovate your units. Don't hit your markers on day one. It's not going to happen. Be conservative. Go out there, underwrite, and under promise and over deliver. That should be your motto when you're looking at property. Under promise and over deliver. Okay? The sixth mistake that I see newbies make in this business is they think they can manage the properties on their own. Forget about building a team and doing it on your own. But once you buy the property, a lot of newbies think, yeah, I can manage it. A duplex, a fourplex, a 10 unit, a 100 unit. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to go out and take people's phone calls and collect rent and deal with the maintenance issues and deal with all the property issues and all the bills and all the vendors? That is not why we are doing this. We're here to work smart. We're here to build a business and not give ourselves another job, right? Now, if you're into management and this is what you want to do, by all means, go right ahead, enjoy yourselves. But if you're out there and you're looking to build your business, build your real estate empire so that you can leave it for your children, you always want to make sure that you have a property management company in between you and your tenants. Let them deal with it. You then want to hire an asset manager so that the asset manager can manage the property managers. And I can talk about that, and you can check my YouTube channel for more information on how to do that. But you want to put a property management company between you and your tenants. Even if you own a duplex, an Airbnb, self-storage, warehousing, offices, whatever it is, have a property management company between you and your tenants. You don't want to get that call at 10 o'clock at night that the toilet is overrun because G.I. Joe is going into the cave and he got stuck and he can't come out. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Okay. So make sure you do that. Don't fall into that trap by thinking, hey, I can manage it on my own. It's pretty easy. Okay. All right. The seventh mistake that I see a lot of newbie investors making is reducing the expenses for absolutely no reason, justifying or not having any justification for slashing your expenses. I get people sending me their underwriting analysis and their financial models, and I look at the seller's numbers, for example, their advertising was $30,000 for the year. And I see people just slashing it in half. Oh, $15,000. Why? Well, I think that marketing was a little expensive. But why don't you investigate first? Investigate, ask questions. Why is marketing $30,000? Do you need to spend that money to keep the property at the occupancy level where it's at? I see a lot of people, taking their contract services, their landscapers, their utilities, their, any of the vendors that they have and just slicing them in half. For what reason? What justification do you have? Let me make something perfectly clear to you. On the day of closing, the day you buy that property and the day you own it, guess what? You're inheriting the income of the property. You're inheriting the vacancy of the property. You're inheriting the bad debt, if any, the concessions, if any, and you're inheriting all of the expenses. So when you're underwriting, don't just slash the expenses for no reason because someone told you that's what you should do or because the rules of thumb for your market say so. Go out first and do your due diligence, investigate, speak to an insurance broker, call the property appraiser or property assessor's office and ask them how they reassess property taxes. Call the vendors and ask them why are they charging this amount of money? What services are they doing? Can they cut their corners a little bit for you? Can you renegotiate? But understand that on day one, the expenses are the expenses you're going to inherit. So when you're underwriting, when you're creating your financial model, make sure to use the 12-month expenses as they are. And I'm going to give you a little tip so that you can learn to underwrite the way lenders do. Lenders will look at the last 3 months of your income, they'll annualize it, they'll use that number, and then they will use the 12 months of income and expenses. However, they will adjust for the real estate taxes, which will probably go up, most definitely go up, and your insurance, which will probably go up as well. Confirm that. So don't fall into that trap where you're thinking, well, the expenses are super high. They're not running it well. I'm just going to slash it in half. I've seen many people do that, and many people get a rude awakening on the day that they take over, and their expenses haven't been slashed in half. They've actually gone up a little bit, and they underwrote it incorrectly, and now they've got egg on their face. Always remember, under promise and over deliver. I'm Nitan Mosery, the traveling investor, and I hope this has been beneficial to you. And if you've liked this, check out my other videos on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. Let's build a relationship. See you at the top, and happy hunting.